good evening to one and all. Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, District Latur in Maharashtra is organized World Record Series 2. Today is 168th day of the series and the keynote speaker for today's session is with us Honorable Dr. Ravi Kumar A.S. Sir. So first of all, I welcome to you, sir, for the dais. I welcome the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal M.M. Bedkar, sir. I welcome the colleagues from my college, IQAP coordinator, Dr. Sanjay Kale, sir, Dr. Anita Dhole, madam, Honorable Praveen Woodge, sir, and all others. And lastly, heartily welcome all those dear participants. The topic for today's presentation is leadership development. Now this topic, as I have said, the keynote speaker is going to present Dr. Ravi Kumar A.S. Sir, who is a master trainer and coach, as well as facilitator, good counselor, mentor, and spiritual trainer from Bangalore. So with this brief introduction, now I request Dr. Ravi Kumar sir, please start your presentation on today's topic, leadership development. You are most welcome, sir. Please. Ravi Kumar sir? Yes. Dear participants, sorry for inconvenience. Soon our resource person will join. Please wait. सरांना कॉन्टॅक्ट करा एकदा, रवी कुमार सरांना. सर आवाज येतोय? प्राचार्य साहेब आवाज येतोय माझा? हा बरं, जाऊ द्या, काय प्रॉब्लेम नाहीये, होतील काय प्रॉब्लेम. गुड इव्हनिंग कोकणे सर, डॉक्टर गरड सर.
गुड इव्हनिंग सर.
Thank you, sir. Wish you the same.
जास्त वेळ जॉईन होते गुगल.
कोकणे सर सॉरी, डिले होतोय.
काय नाही सर, चालतं.
Good evening, Swanand Shukla sir, Dr. Jay sir, Dr.
Good
Vijay
evening, sir.
sir,
Sir, good evening.
Durgesh sir, Jaivir Singh sir, Chitra madam, Paul sir, Logeshwari madam, Nilesh sir, Pandurang sir, Sunil Jhende sir. You are most welcome, sir. सर स्क्रीनवर नाही दिसले तरी चालेल शर्मा सर. असं बोलले तरी चालतील सर. मोबाईल चालू आहे सर, ते कनेक्टेड आहेत ते. हा आपल्या ह्याला आहेत वेबिनारला जॉईन झालेत, फक्त ते लाईटची वेट करत असतील तर असंच बोलायला सांगा.
नमस्कार बेटकर सर. तुम्ही जो नंबर पाठवला होता प्रतिभा मॅडमांचा, ते पुढच्या टर्म मध्ये मी कार्यक्रम घेणार आहे त्यांचा. हा नाही अजून झालेलं नाही, मी करतो आणि मग तुम्हाला कळवतो सर.
हो सर, हो.
Hope I am audible.
Yes sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and sorry for making you to wait because of unexpected constraint, power drop. Right. So, I'm Dr. Ravi Kumar, based out in Bangalore, and the topic for the day is about leadership skills and the leadership developments. So I hope I can start the session and continue.
Yes sir, please continue.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes sir.
Right. So today I'll be talking about the leadership skills, which is the most sought after in today's lifestyle for every profession. Right? Whatever may be the profession, the leadership skills and
Sir, please unmute yourself, then talk.
Hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. I'm very sorry again because there's a little bit of flower fluctuation here at Bangalore, which is troubling me a lot. That's the reason I'm not able to present my screen today. I'm very sorry for that. My sincere excuses for that. Please do pardon me for that. So, the today's session is all about to know about the leadership skills. That is, which is a very most sought after in day-to-day's profession, in almost all the professions. Let it be in the teaching field or in the educators field or in any corporate field or in any workplace, right? So let us understand what exactly the uh, meaning and the definition for the leadership skills and what are the traits that are required for developing these leadership skills, right? So basically speaking, a leader, as normally we all see or as we normally talk about, is that a leader is the one who leads from the front, right? Whether it can be his team or it can be his group or it can be his party, anything it can be, right? A bunch of people who are being led by an individual. That's what we call him as a leader, right? It can be in your corporate office, a team leader, or it can be in any other professional work like, say, you are a political party, then you are a political leader. So it all depends on which forum you are being there, on which platform you are leading the team, or a group of, or a bunch of people. So it might start. The leadership skills starts from the very younger age, if we can remember that. Right? When we were into our school days, we were made to choose a leader for our class, whom we used to call him as a class representative or the class monitor. So from that time itself, the leadership qualities or the definition for the leader started, and we started to know about who is a leader and how a leader is responsible for all the requirements that needs to be taken care or that needs to be catered for. With these things, when we see that, when we get into a higher level, and when we get into that higher level, and when we speak about that traits that are required for a leader in any forum or in any platform, what is that exact definition for a leader? As I was saying earlier, that a leader is one who leads from the front. That is a common definition that we give. But in fact, a leader never leads from the front. A leader always goes along with the team. He takes the team along with him. He drives the team along with him, right? Because a leader will not have the followers. He will always have the vicinity and the relationship with the team members in such a way that none of his team members would like to leave him alone or will leave him and go elsewhere. That's what the exact meaning of a leader is. A leader always goes along with the team rather than leading the team. So, to do that, what is that main quality or what is that requirement that is most important in a leader's perception is that the major leadership qualities. What are the leadership qualities that are required? If we can see that, we will have having a lot of leadership qualities that need to be developed. And at the same time, we should also understand what are the definitions of leader when we talk about in different terms at different levels of our workplace or in the different levels of our nature. If we see that, as I told you, a political leader or a team leader in a corporate or in any sector, all these things comes into force from the school level itself. A leader, that leadership, that leader definition keeps on going and going. But to develop that leadership qualities in him or her that one requires to understand that what are the major leadership qualities that we need to focus on and how one can develop those leadership qualities in him or her, right? So with that, we will see what is a leader and what is a leadership. According to an American Heritage Dictionary, which defines the leader as one that leads or guides. It also says that one who is in charge or in command of others. So any defense leader, one who is in charge of the troop, one who commands the entire troop, is also defined as a leader. Or one who heads a political party, as I told you earlier, or one who has the influence or the power, especially of a political nature. He is also termed as a leader. At the same time, how this definition for the leadership is defined as. This definition for leadership is defined in this American Heritage Dictionary as it is a position that a person holds, or it is a position or an office a person is holding of it, or it is a capability or the capacity or even the ability of a person, one who can take the command and lead the team forward. And a group of leaders, those who can guide their team and give the right direction to achieve the set goal or the set target. The common definitions, if you come across for a leader, it's a process. Actually, a leader or a leadership, it is a process that an individual influences a group of individuals to achieve a common goal or achieve a common target. So, how can this be achieved or how can this goal be reached? When we question ourselves, what are the basic traits that are required for a leader to achieve a goal, a common goal, or a common target set for a common cause by an organization along with the team members? So, what influences the leader to achieve that goals? So, what are those common traits a leader needs to have? So, a leader needs to motivate the team. So, a leader has to be a motivator. So, a leader should also understand the power of delegation. The power of delegation means how can a leader empower his team members the right set of tasks that needs to be delegated to a right person. And a leader is the one who also inspires his team members. Not only his team members, a leader can inspire the public as well. He can motivate the public as well. And if you are a leader in an organization, then a leader should develop the quality of collaborating with. This is a very important quality one needs to develop in oneself. That's why it is called as a process. Because this is not a inbuilt or inherent quality that one can really have it by what you call as hereditary or something like that. It needs to be developed as the time passes on, as the person grows and as the experience counts on. That's why it is termed as a process. And one who can also encourage others to develop personally, professionally, and as well as socially. Right? As all of us know that every day, each one of us lead 4 styles of life in our day-to-day life. That is our personal life, the professional life, the social life, and the spiritual life. Your spiritual life is not the religious life. What I'm saying here is the personal life. What all of us know, what is our personal life, how we need to balance it, and how we go along with the personal life. The professional life, the workforce, the profession where we are into, how we are going to develop our career in the professional line. Then the social life, how a person, the social life, it is the engine or it is the carriage on the railway track. The personal life and the professional life, these two are the railway tracks. The social life is the bogie or the compartment on that particular railway track. The spiritual life here is that, not the religious life, whether you are Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Persian, whatsoever it is, you doing all those spiritual things. That is not the spiritual life. That is the religious life. Spiritual life here means how much spiritually you devote yourself. You dedicate yourself to a particular lifestyle that you are leading. How much you devote yourself to your personal life. How much you dedicate yourself to your professional life. So, the social life balances. Once a person understands the social skills, develops a good or a effective social skills, that person can easily balance the social life, the personal life as well as the professional life. Why I compare this personal life and the professional life to a railway track is that the railway track never meets. Whenever a personal life meets with a professional life, there is a clash, there is an accident, then there is an imbalance in the lifestyle one leads. That's the reason this is compared to a railway track. Then collaborating with and encouraging others to develop himself, that making others to develop their personality, encouraging others to develop their persona, and one who encourages others to develop a culture where the employees get to feel that ownership in them. When an employee gets to feel that ownership in him or her, only then the goal can be achieved easily. Everyone feels that, yes, it is my work. I am the owner of this job. So I have to work for this. This can happen only when a person takes the ownership of it. And that when a person takes that ownership, that makes the person to develop the business or develop towards the target or achieving the goal continuously. Then, if you see what are the common traits that normally a leader or a leadership quality requires, if you can divide that into three different things, or if you can put them into a tabular form, say one is a leader should be a knowledgeable person. Then a leader should be a confident person. Then a leader should be a respectable person. So when we configure this table into these three different categories, that is knowledge, confidence, and respect. So under the knowledgeable thing, under the table, under the column of knowledge, if you have to see what are the main traits one needs to have is he should be having a 360-degree knowledge in the field in which he or she is leading. That means that individual should become a role model. Then the individual should know or should have the knowledge or should have that skill of solving the problems, the problem solving skills. Then the leader should also have that collaborating, that's what I told you a few minutes ago, should have that collaborating attitude. should have that collaborating behavior in him or her so that the leader can mingle up, can mix up with his team members and work together with them to achieve the common goal. And moreover, he should be a motivator. When it comes to the column under confidence, the confidence, how can one develop the confidence? So to develop that confidence in a person as a leader, one should be a good observant. The person should have the ability to observe, learn, relearn, unlearn, relearn, and understand the gaps where it is the gaps are creating, understand the gaps and fill those gaps. That ability a leader should develop in him. That is what is the only then the leader can be confident of achieving anything. He should be a good observant. He should be a very compassionate person. He cannot discriminate himself from others. He should not have that proudness or ego that I am the leader, I am leading the team. You say all of others are my subordinates. That sort of a behavior or that sort of an attitude shouldn't be there in a leader. Always, a leader should feel himself. That's why being compassionate means what? Being humble, being down to earth. You see, a leader always leads the team along with him. That means he has to pick up the people from wherever they are to the level where they're required to come to achieve the goal. If a person needs to pick up or develop a person from where that person is to a higher level, that person, the leader has to kneel down to the level of the person, what the level that person is. Only then he can be able to bring that person up. For a common example that I would say, if you have to lift something that is fallen on the ground, you need to bend to the level of the ground and only then you can lift it up. You cannot stand erect and you cannot lift anything. So that is what is the humbleness. That is what is the compassionateness in a person that is required to be a good leader, to be an efficient leader. And the person should always be a goal-oriented person. Always round the clock. The mind should be thinking, yes, this is my goal. I have to achieve this. It can be a goal is achieved when we bifurcate this into 3 different levels, that long-term, mid-term and short-term goals. So when we focus our view on achieving the goal, what is my today's short-term goal, or what is today's my mid-term goal, or what is today's my long-term goal, where I have to reach, what should be the thing that I need to do. Always goal-oriented. And that person should know the value of accountability. Accountability here means he should take into account each and every member of his team or of his organization if that particular business needs to scale the height of success. Right? Say for example, I am a CEO of an organization and I need to achieve the goal. I should take into account not only the top brasses, I mean to say all the top managements. I have to take into account all the top managements, mid managements, low managements, executive levels, and even below the executive levels, that is the blue-collar employees also, including the housekeeping. If IFI doesn't have accountability of this housekeeping or the blue collars, those who are the real pillars behind achieving the goal. So that art of accountability is needed in a leader. And when we come to the third column, that is the respect. A leader should always be a respectable person. How can a person be respectable? Only when a person is humble. When a person knows how to respect others, when a person knows how to respect others' efforts, when a person knows how to respect his own efforts and how to respect the value of each one's work or each one's effort, only then that person becomes very respectable. So, to make that capable of making mistakes and correcting them means nobody can go ahead without making a mistake. Right? In most of the things it is said, I am perfect, imperfect. If you split it, I am perfect. No, it is not I am perfect, I am imperfect only. Because if you are perfect, you will not do mistake. If you will not do mistake, you will not learn anything. So you will be stagnated wherever you are. If you want to progress ahead, you have to do the mistake. But doing the mistake, understanding where it has gone wrong, understanding the gap or the reason for that mistake, filling that particular mistake, and correcting the mistakes and going forward. That is what is called as the experiential learning. One learns from the mistakes, that experience. Mistakes gives the experience to the people. But if the mistakes are repeated, I'm sorry to say this word, if the mistakes are repeated, then it becomes a crime. It will not stay as a mistake. Right? So, mistakes are welcome, but repetitions of the mistakes are not welcome. So, doing the mistakes, understanding the mistake, and filling that gap, correcting those mistakes, and going ahead. Then, you should have the art of influencing the people. That means he should be a good motivator. If he has to influence the people, he should inspire, he should motivate, he should become a role model. All these things, if it is comprised together, then that person can develop the art of influencing the people. Of all that, he should be a very good communicator. Very good communicator or a very effective communicator. When can a person become a good or an effective communicator? Is that when a person understands what is the assertive communication is. Only then, if you are an assertive communicator, then the communication is always good. If a person is an assertive communicator, that means that person will not hurt the other's intuition. That's where that humbleness, that's where that compassionate thing fits in. And at the same time, he should be a good listener as well. Because if it doesn't listen to others, to your team members, then the goal cannot be achieved at any cost. You should be a good listener, very attentive listener, so that there's a saying in English, an attentive listener is a great recipient. An attentive listener can receive many things, compile them, and come to a conclusion and come to the consensus. He can have a good discussions with his team members. Only if a person is a good listener. Then, once a person, one who wants to become a leader, or one who tries to become a leader or is already a leader and wants to develop more as a leader, right? Once that person has understood all this definition of what a leader is or who a leader is, then you have to understand what is the next step that is to be figured out, the skills. What are the skill sets that are needed in order to develop the leader? Right? So, a leader always, there's a lot of difference between a leader and the leadership. As I told you, a leader is a person who leads from the front. or one who leads along the team. But a leader, one who leads the team along with him, would have developed the leadership skills. But a person, one who leads the team from the front, would be having lack in the leadership skills. So what are those leadership skills one need to develop? And in studying those leadership skills, there are various number of ideas and there are various number of models that can be implemented. However, certain skills, right, that normally fall into three distinct categories if we say that. What are those three different categories if we say? The first and foremost one is the technical skill. Then the conceptual skills, and the third one is the human relationship skills. These are the three major skills that are required for a person to develop the leadership qualities. So what is the technical skill? Technical skill can be your academic subject. And once you learn that academic subject, how you implement those academic learning into your day-to-day life in your profession, right? That means the methods, the processes, the procedures, and the ability to use tools or operate the equipment or ability to use those academic knowledge into your day-to-day life and progress in your life. Until and unless your academic knowledge or your academic learning is not put into the practical life, if it is not implemented in your day-to-day life, that doesn't become a learning. So the experiential learning plays a very important role in developing the technical skills. The next, the conceptual skills. The conceptual skills are commonly the ability to analyze the situations and generate ideas. That means a leader wants to develop a good leadership qualities should upskill himself or upgrade himself or herself by developing the skills of group discussion. So in the language, when we talk about, there are 4 skills. That is, one is talking, then becomes the argument. The third one is the debate. The fourth one is the discussion. A talk, when a person casually speaks with others, casually talks with others. Argument, where there is no result achieved, where the tu me will be happening. No result achieved in the argument. Debate, 2 teams debating on one topic. But in a debate, the difference is that a person debating on a topic, one for the far side, the other one on the against side, both will speak about the negatives and positives of the respective side they are speaking to. For example, if I am speaking on the far side of a topic, I need to talk about all the positives of the far side and also the adverse effects, that is the negative sides of the far side. At the same time, if I am talking about against the topic, I need to talk about all the benefits about the negative sides of the against of the topic and also the demerits of the against the side of the topic. That becomes a debate. That means where it will have a healthy competition, where it generates to one conclusion and the conclusion can be taken as a result with a consensus. But the top level is the discussion. When the discussion happens, when there is a group discussion, one topic, number of ideas multiplied by number of people. 10 person in the group, there will be 10 ideas, maybe 20 ideas. When you compile all those 20 ideas, when you collate all those 20 ideas, come to one conclusion where everybody agrees to it, that gives the benefits. That's what is the conceptual skills one needs to develop. Then the human relationship skills. It is all about understanding your co-workers, your colleagues, your peers, your team members, and develop the ability to work with them, irrespective of the designation. Only then the good or an effective leadership quality is developed in a person. So how can this be developed? This can be developed only when a person develops both intrapersonal skills and interpersonal skills. Both interpersonal skills as well as intrapersonal skills. When a person develops these two skills in himself or herself, this human relationship is automatically developed. Right? So, to develop that interpersonal skills or the intrapersonal skills, what needs to be done? You should be a good communicator. So, you have to develop the communication skills. You should know the idea of understanding, cooperation, and coordination. You should have an assertive attitude. And one should have that ability to motivate others. Only then the human relationship skills can be developed. Then when you talk about a leader and a regular leader or a person who is having an effective or a good leadership skills. A leader who leads from the front becomes a manager. A person who leads the team along with him or her develops a good leadership qualities. So now let us understand what is the difference between a manager and the leader. A leader is a very innovative person. A leader always loves to innovate many things. He will be an innovative person. Compared to a manager, where the manager will be an administrator. He would love to administer the things onto his team members. He himself will not involve. The manager will get the work done by others, but whereas a leader who is possessing a good leadership quality will work with the team to get the work done. That's what is a manager administers. A leader always eyes on the horizons. Horizons, I need not to explain. The target, the end target where we need to reach. But a manager always eyes at the bottom line. Who is not working? Let me make him to work. A leader always originates the ideas. A leader always has that quality of thinking out of the box. He originates the ideas. But a manager always imitates. He looks back, goes forward. A leader always does right things. It doesn't mean that a leader will not do any mistakes. As I told you earlier, a manager is always there to do the mistakes. But he always focuses on the right things to be done. Right? Whereas the manager focuses on the things to be done. That means hook or crook, you have to do this work. That's where a manager focuses. But a leader will not focus on that hook or crook, whereas a leader will focus on the right thing to be done, where that same thing can be done in a correct way, in the right manner. That is what is known as a leader is always focuses on being effective, whereas a manager always focus on being efficient. That's why there is a saying in the English, try to express, not to impress. Right? Once a person tries to express, then automatically impression is got. There is no need to impress yourself. So, but here, a leader is the person one who expresses, but a manager is the one who impresses. When we talk about all these things, but if we can compare these two things, what would be happening is, to be most effective in achieving the goal or reaching the target, both sets of skills are needed in a good leader or an efficient leader. If it doesn't have that managerial skills, it will be difficult for you to manage the team itself. So that man management, resource management, so that managerial skill is a byproduct that is to be there. The managerial skills acts as a catalyst for an effective leader. Both these two have the certain overlapping functions, and these overlapping functions are independent to their right categories. And they might be having differentiations. That means they might be having that, what do you call it as polar descriptions. One might be talking about the north and the other might be talking about the south. That polar discrimination or would be there. They would define the same thing in two different ways. But that is required. Why that is required? To make the other person to understand both the effectiveness and the adverse effectiveness of what would happen. If that overlapping quality is not there, then it will be difficult for a leader to make his team members to understand what would be the adverse effect if you go this way. What would be the wrong, what would go wrong if you go this way. To make that understand, the person should understand both the things. And an effective leadership also involves the convergence of leaders, followers, and situation. As it is evident in research, many researchers we have seen, at times situations may not support the leader to get onto the target on the right given time. There might be a cause for the delay, but that is where a leader needs to develop that quality in him or her to withstand those difficulties, face those difficulties, try to find the solution for that, overcome those difficulties, and reach the target. It is always, a leadership quality is always learned and it is developed. As the person gets on increasing the experience, the leadership quality or the leadership traits keeps developing in a person. So, if we have to summarize this thing, it is very important to differentiate these two categories, but also at the same time, it is very much important to recognize these overlaps. If we cannot recognize these overlaps, then we will be defaulting ourselves from becoming a good leader. So, what are the leadership styles? If we can get into this leadership styles, we can categorize that leadership styles into three categories. What are those three categories if we take it? The first category is the authoritarian category. That is the autocratic. There is first. Then the participative. That means one who is a democratic. The third one is delegative. One who is free to reign. One is freestyle leader. So what are these autocratic or the authoritarian style means? Where the management will have the most of the knowledge and skills, and it should be normally used on rare occasions. Always, you cannot command or you cannot sit on the head of the team members or the subordinates. That would cause a severe damage. That is the reason why this authoritative or the autocratic leadership quality should be used very rarely. Because that can be used only when the situation is going beyond the control. And this can be used when the leader tells his team members that what he wants the things to be done. And in what way he needs the things to be done. Where the things are very specific and very particular. In those situations, the authoritarian style works. Then the participative style. The participative style or the democratic style of leadership. It involves the leader can be including one or more employees on making one decision. That's what I said, group discussions. Making the process, determining what to do and how to do it. What are the easy ideas? What are the ideas that are generated? How these ideas can be implemented? However, the leader will be having the authority to make the final decision. Still, the final decision that is made or the conclusion that is made also needs a consensus. Otherwise, if there is no consensus, then that particular leadership gets back to the authoritative leadership stance. It can be used when you are part of the information team or you are working as a employees have other parts to do. And when this type of thing happens, where your employees also feel that they are also part of this particular work or part of this particular project, and they take the ownership and work towards it. Then the third style or the delegative style, or which is also known as the freestyle, there employees, all the employees, or we can say that all the team members will have to have the needed knowledge and the skills. That is where delegation skills is very much important in the leadership qualities, because the leader should understand the abilities, the capabilities of the team members to delegate the right set of tasks to each individual. Here, a leader can allow the team members to take their decisions and ask them to take their decisions and work towards it. But however, the leader will be held responsible for the decisions that are made. That means the involvement of the leader is there even in the decision making of others. It is used where the team members or the employees are able to analyze themselves and are able to analyze the situation, are able to analyze the circumstance and determine what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. Right? This style, that is the democratic style or the delegative style, can be successful where the leader has the full trust, belief, and confidence on his team members. And that needs to be used very wisely. If we can talk about the leadership styles further, if you are a good leader, if you are an efficient leader, that particular leader implies or implements all these three different leadership styles. That is authoritative, democratic, and delegative. Because all these three styles needs to be implemented depending on the circumstance or depending on the situations that would arise from time to time. Why this leadership development is important? What is the need of it? What is the importance of this? It is required to evaluate the current leadership and the management styles for effectiveness based on the organization's needs and desired culture. That means if you are an organization's leader, then the developing these leadership qualities is very much important. Once this is identified, this can be identified through formal assessments. There can be formal assessments that can be taken in the job analysis, the observation, the strengths and the weaknesses of leadership styles. In short, we call it as SWOT. That is strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. When the individual develops this SWOT quality in himself or herself, that is self-analysis or analyzing skills of the organization, of the team, automatically the leadership skills are developed. Once these leadership skills are developed, the next importance is that it would make the person to work to implement and develop the plan and coaches the other individuals for upgrading or upskilling themselves. And thereby, the skill enhancement of the team takes place. That means a leader always develops leaders. He will not develop the followers. A leader, one who is having an effective or an efficient leadership skills, will develop more such leaders. Who all can be benefited with the development of the leadership skills? The first and foremost thing is the recently promoted persons. The recently promoted persons from an executive level to a team leader, from a team leader to a managerial level, from a lower level manager level to a mid-level manager level, from a mid-level level to managerial level to the top management level. From the top management level, if you need to further develop yourself to the director's level. That's how the scaling goes up. So, the successful leaders or the managers who want to enhance their skills, the technical managers, those who want to develop their professional life, the valuable executives, those who are capable of becoming leaders, then how can this be achieved? The major question mark is it can be achieved. It can be achieved by each and everyone with successive planning. The succession in the planning. For every stage, for every development, for every skill development, you need to upskill yourself. You need to plan yourself. So, it can be an organizational leader or at a very multiple levels. You can be a leader at multiple levels, or it can also benefit the leadership skills in an individual as well. What are the other things? The continued learning process happens. You want to develop the continued learning happens. So when that continued learning happens, then there is a always path or the road to the personal growth. Right? And when there is a personal growth, that leads you to the evolution of the world-class leader. You can evaluate yourself. You can elevate yourself to the world-class leader. When a person develops these leadership qualities in him or her, it helps the person to create the culture of leadership. So when that culture of leadership is developed, that time, always the person knows what needs to be done and what not needs to be done. So what is that core competencies that are required for developing a good leadership in one? The core competencies, the leader should be an action-oriented person. He should have the ability or he should have the skill of taking the critical judgment or the critical decision making. Should be a good or an effective communicator, that is an assertive communicator. If it is a business, then the leader should be having the quality of customer orientation, should develop the good quality of a teamwork, should have the creativity or the innovative skills in him or her, should have a good interpersonal and the intrapersonal skills in him, and also should be a technical and also a functional expertise. So how can one develop the leadership skills in his or her or in the own organization? There are many external consultants where they conduct lots of workshops, they conduct a lot of presentations, they conduct a lot of seminars. It can vary from a half an hour presentation or a half an hour this thing to a full day's session. Then once that is being done, once we attend those things, then try to implement the management and the supervision that develop the managerial qualities and the supervisional qualities. To develop that managerial and the supervisional qualities, what needs to be developed? If one needs to develop the managerial or the supervisional qualities, one needs to develop the conflict resolution skills in him or her. Then one needs to understand the different management styles, the conducting of effective meetings, motivating self and inspiring others. Understand the organizational change, should attend the diversity trainings to understand the different cultures, should develop a good team building quality in a business oriented sector, should develop effective customer service and effective customer relationship management. In an educational sector, should understand the good relationship, that is the student-teacher relationship. Should understand and maintain the teacher-parent relationship. Should understand and maintain the co-worker relationship. All these things. Then it also helps a person to develop personally. That is the personal growth and the personal developments. How that would help to develop your thing is, as I was talking all this time, it makes you to develop the assertiveness in you. A person who develops the leadership qualities will be an assertive person. He will never be aggressive nor be a passive person. He will be an assertive person. Always ready to impart trainings and attend trainings. Always ready to conduct workshops, meetings, seminars effectively, and will be a good communicator and understands how to deal or how to handle or how to mix with the difficult people. Once these leadership qualities are developed in a person, what are the benefits? Why one needs to, without benefit, none of us would love to get into any slot. So it gives an increased profit. If you are an individual businessman, it gives you the profit. If you are an organization leader, it gives the profit to the organization by achieving the organization's or the company's objectives, identifying the goals of the company, identifying the activities of the company, and value added activities that needs to be done to achieve that particular target of reach the target of the company. It helps one to develop the people management skills. That's what I was saying. When that people management skill is developed, you can increase the size of your team or increase the size of your organization or increase the size of your number of customers. It gives you a much clearer and more focused vision. It create a clear, challenging, but still achievable goals. And it creates an awareness of potential pitfalls. If you have to see what are the common concepts that are needed to develop a good or an effective leadership qualities, is that understanding the three different styles of leadership styles, then the group process, how to process a group, how to develop the team. That means understanding that permutation and combination. Then using the power as well as delegating the power, both the things. Always a goal oriented or one who is having a long vision to achieve. One who always understands and follows the ethics, etiquettes, and always goes with the right set of character. One who is capable of motivating others. One who can manage the team. One who can resolve the conflicts. And one who understands the diversity. When a person understands the diversity, only then that person can understand what is integrity is. That's why in many of my sessions, I always keep on saying, plus will not have the value until and unless it is compared with a minus. If there were to be no minus, plus wouldn't have the value at all. If there were to be no thieves, no burglars, no rule breakers, then there were to be no need of a police in any part of the country. Police have the value because of these people. So negative gives the added value to the positive. If there is no negative, then the positive alone will not have any value in itself. So should understand what is diversity, and only then the person can understand what is integrity. Adopt the three methods of developing the own leadership. That means agree on which characteristics are most important in the company or for the team or for the organization. Decide on the key requirements and think correctly and think wisely about whom they see as top performers and in these key roles and keep a picture of them in mind. That is what only then you can become a good leader with having a good delegation skills. For these things, always maintain the integrity 100% of the time. Know your value, that means know your stuff and be able to prove it. Means you should be logical. Declare your vision or clarify your vision to the team members or to the organization or about the business. Be a committed person. Show your commitment towards your business or towards the organization for which you are working. Always expect positive results. Never think about the negative results. That's why we always keep on saying, yesterday is last. Don't bother about it. If you want to be stress-free, if you want to be tension-free, forget yesterday. Don't bother about tomorrow. Because tomorrow never comes. Because even if tomorrow comes, that tomorrow becomes today only. So always work about today. Think about today. What I have to do right now. Tomorrow when it comes, today is Monday. Tomorrow is Tuesday. But Tuesday, you will not say, I have come tomorrow here today. You will say, I am here today only. Even Tuesday also will become today only. Next day, that is tomorrow to Tuesday is Wednesday. When Wednesday comes, you say that Wednesday is today only. So focus on today. Plan for tomorrow and work for that plan today. That is what it is. Only then you can expect the positive results. Take care of your team members. Put your duty before yourself. Don't give priority to your own self. Give priority to your profession. Give priority to your work. Just a second, please. Yeah, sorry. 10. Stand out. Be a shining star wherever you stand in. Stand out in whatever you do. That means you should be like a pole star. You should shine even amidst surrounded by thousands of other stars. With this thing, I would end my speech for the day here. Thank you so much for each and everyone over here for being so patiently listening to me. And I would love to extend my gratitude and my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Bedekar sir for giving me this opportunity to be in the middle of all of you and present a bit of knowledge, whatever I knew, to all of you and share with you. Any questions or any clarities that are required may please be asked. I would be happy to answer all those things.
Thank you very much, sir, Dr. Ravi Kumar sir, for the wonderful lecture for the session today. Now I request all dear participants, if you have any query regarding the topic, please come ahead. Ask to Honorable Ravi Kumar sir. He will answer it. Please welcome.
Good evening, Dr. Bedkar sir, Principal sir. Hello.
Hi.
Am
You
I
are
audible?
audible, sir. Yes, sir, you are audible. We are getting.
Good evening, Dr. Bedkar sir, Principal sir, Praveen sir. Good evening. And
Good
sir,
evening,
thank
sir.
you very much for your wonderful expression about the leadership and the new definitions what you can put forth. That is a great thing to us. So leader is not who leads the things, but leader who is always behind everyone. So I think that is the main theme of your what lecture you had taken, sir. Wonderful lecture. Thank you. Sir, two things I want to add. The one thing is power of consultation. And second thing is giving the empowerment or the ownership to the people. Usually it becomes centric and it is not decentric, and usually that team fails over there. And definitely the organization, if it is there, the leader becomes successful rather than leader is successful and the team becomes successful. No, but the organization becomes successful, the leader becomes successful. It is like what we are having during the Handi. Definitely you'll find the all organization, every component has to work, and to make that person work, it is not just an order and it is not just instructions that plays, but it requires a kind of a sense of ownership if we are giving. I think that moves little much better. What do you say about this, sir? Thank you.
Very true, sir. That's what I told in the very beginning itself. When a leader leads from the front, That is the difference between the two types of leaders. The leader, one who leads from the front, and the leader, one who leads the team along with him or her. So the leader, one who leads from the front, always try to look at the followers, and he needs to develop the followers without delegating the powers or without creating more such leaders like him or her. But a leader, one who always leads the team along with him or her, one way always when he takes the team along with him, always try to develop more such leaders like him or her, so that there the power of delegation, that is where the power of consultancy comes. He is much consulted with all the team members, where he can focus on the skill sets of different people. That's where the power of delegation also talks about. And that
Yes,
situation,
sir.
what would
Thank you.
happen is that when more such leaders are developed in a team, and that more such developed leaders can take care of more such different departments or the different sections or the different teams of the organization, that gives a boost in the development of the organization, or that gives the boost in the development of the business. That is why it is called as the delegational or the democratic leadership skills. So very true, you said that. That's what I was talking about, the delegational type of leadership styles. So one needs to give that ownership to the team members. Without taking the ownership, if the person feels submissive, or if the person feels, even a single team member feels what do you call it as very inferior to someone else, then the team would start declining itself. So that inferiorism should never be made to be felt amongst the team members. That can happen only when a person gives the ownership to each team members. When the leader always asks, you are the owner for this particular task, you have to take this in your own way, but see to it that the road is not damaged. That's how the delegation needs to be done. Hope this answers your query, sir.
Thank you, sir. And one more thing, the leadership, I think the definition really has changed because of the various scenario, like what we are having IT sectors and where work from home and
Yeah.
other things that is there.
Right.
And, we used to learn a story that the leader develops in the colleges, the GS and those fights, those kind of elections. And then they were getting entered into the real political field, and then they were getting some kind of positions like corporate and then leaders. But I think today's world will not accept such a kind of leaders who are just pushing and pulling and squeezing the whole political as well as our democratic policies. So I think what is required, a true leader, is what you said. It is correct, sir. Thank you very much for your great presentation, sir. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, sir. It's always my pleasure, sir. That is what is called as the authoritative leadership style, right? That authoritative leadership style will not work everywhere. But a leader should develop or should be knowing all the three styles of leadership, that is authoritative, democratic, and delegative. Only then a leader can develop himself and display the true leadership qualities in him or her.
Thank you, sir.
It's my pleasure, sir. Always my pleasure.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Swanand Shukla, sir, for your nice queries. And Honorable Dr. Ravi Kumarswami answered it very well. So thank you very much. Now I request the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal M. Bedkar, sir. Sir, please welcome and have some concluding words for today's session. Please, sir.
It's always my pleasure, sir. You just let me know. I'll be in for the thing. Because learning is to give. It is not to keep within us. Whatever in the last few decades that I have learned, let us give it back to the nation so that the nation always keeps on developing. Only then the country can become a developed country, or else it will be still in the developing stage only. So if we start giving back to the nation, that will be the right way of building the developed nation. That's what I feel. So thank you so much. My heartfelt gratitude and thanks to you, sir, Principal Sir, for really giving me this opportunity on such a wonderful day and bringing in such a wonderful crowd to listen to me so patiently. And I'm honored and privileged to be here as a resource person. Thank you. Let me know, sir, the dates. And if you want me to take any topics, you just give me the topic. I'll deliver the class on that or the lecture on that. And I would be really proud to be there with all of you again. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for being here and being participative in the session. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
So thank you very much, sir. Now I move towards
सर 7 दिवसाचा आमच्याकडे एक प्रोग्राम चालू आहे कंटिन्युइंग मेडिकल एज्युकेशन वरती गव्हर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडियाचा त्याचं कोऑर्डिनेटरशिप आहे थोडीशी ते झाली जबाबदारी की लगेच मी येईल सर 100% येणार आणि इट विल बी माय ग्रेट म्हणजे माझा ऑनर सर मी इथे येणार आणि एवढ्या इंटेलिजंट सगळ्या फॅकल्टी समोर येणं ही पण मोठी गोष्ट आहे सर थँक्यू सर निश्चित सर आपण निश्चित मी येईल सर निश्चित
participants on in primary and all the participants. Shri Mahavidyalaya district record series 2. Today was 168th day and well skillful personality was with us for today's session. Honorable Dr. Ravi Kumar sir, who talked about the topic leadership developments, where honorable those